Hello everyone, and so today I'm going to show you guys my remote control collection that I have in this big red thing right there. And I don't really care what I show, this stuff that's in the background, because that's never going to be in a video, so whatever. Get your items that you want to show in the picture and begin to shoot. Lights, camera, action. Yeah, right. So I got this remote control right here off of Facebook Marketplace. It came with a DVD player, a Panasonic, which of course it says it's made in Singapore on the back, which I thought was kind of strange. But I happen to have two of these Panasonic DVD players that use this model of remote control, and they were manufactured in '99. And I've never seen another. This is the only Panasonic DVD player remote control I've ever seen for sale for cheap, and it actually works, which is very kind of strange. So I'm gonna put that one in there, the bottom there. I don't really use Panasonic, so I hardly use that brand. So this one right here I got from the school district replacement remote control. I ordered this. I got this from St. Vinny's actually. And the school district had a bunch of these Toshiba remote controls that were like this, and they had them all marked up with the names and stuff on the side of them, which I thought was weird. But I found this one at a thrift store. I paid probably $1 for it. I may have paid 50 cents, but I really needed this one because the previous one I had was broken and it had issues. There's so many remote controls here. There's just so many of them. Look at them all. We'll get to them eventually. Usually people don't show off their collections of remote controls, I noticed. So I happen to have this one right here. And see, like, this is what I'm saying. They wrote their names all over them. I don't know why they did that. It's a school that no longer exists anymore, so school district decided to cut costs and get rid of a school, and they had all these VCRs and all these DVD players with all these remotes. So they just sold them all instead of taking them to the other school. I don't know why they did that, but these Toshiba remote controls like these are getting harder to come by. I think they're like $15 on Amazon. So, very expensive. And then I got this one right here from St. Vinny's as well as I got the other Toshiba one from. I paid $1 for this one. I think the other one, I think that Toshiba remote control was 50 cents if I remember correctly. That was like a long time ago. I got that maybe like 2 years ago. This one right here is a 2002 Universal Remote Control. It's from 2002. You can still get the codes for this online. But I did notice something about this, is this works with any RCA device without programming it. So if you had a old DVD player that's RCA, you don't have a remote control to it anymore, this would work for it. But the only exception is there's no button on here anywhere to eject the disc. So you're screwed again. This is a Daewoo GPX. I forgot what other brand. Savania. I think this is like one of those this is a Daewoo remote control for GPX. I forgot what other brand they had listed. I think it was Orion or something. This is from like the 2000s Daewoo remote made in Korea. Actually, I think this might be from the 90s. I bought that because I needed a remote control for something or another. I can't remember. This is for my Samsung Blu-ray player that I donated to the thrift store. I came home one day and I turned it on and I put a disc in there, and the drawer shut really quickly and turned itself off. I couldn't figure out why it did that. Still to this day, we don't know why. See, look, it's practically like brand new. I only had that Samsung Blu-ray player between 2017 to when I graduated to basically 2018. I only had it for like a year or two. And I only had it for like a year. I think it was like a year or two. I mean, Samsung's, they're junk nowadays. I used to have a Samsung television, so I could use the remote control along with it on the bottom. This one right here doesn't have the eject button, but some of them do. Which is the whole reason why I bought a Samsung, so I could use the controls on the bottom of it, so I didn't have to worry about things like that. This is a Sony DVD player. I can't remember where I got this from. I've got quite a few of the Sony remotes that I've scavenged throughout the years. That I've show them all off at once if I could find them all. I never had my family never owned a Sony television when I was growing up. We never had one. I got these Sony TV remote controls. They were sitting in a box outside someone's house, and they were at the curb, and they put all their old equipment from the 90s and 2000s out to the curb. They bought all new stuff. Like in 2016, right before they stopped making VHS, they put them all to the curb. And they bought all new stuff. And I was surprised that somebody would have done that, but that's what they did. I don't know if I have any more Sony, and that's it. That's it. No, that's it. So these ones, this one right here, I actually took this from a Sony television. It was one of those big box ones that it was a projection screen. I was going to pick the television off the side of the curb. And this goes to it. Everything works. This combo unit remote control is an extra one that I found at a thrift store. I paid $1 for it. This one right here. Oh, I got another one right here. So there's two of these. One of these I bought. Actually, this one right here I bought off Amazon. I paid $15 for it. I paid like $10 for it. Got that one off of there. This one right here came with a DVD player. And you notice how clean everything is? That's because I keep my stuff nice and clean and I don't sit there and destroy it like most people do. Zoom out a little bit, I guess. This one right here my aunt gave me. She bought it for me because the VCR I had at the time period was a Sony I bought, and this was the remote control that it needed. For some reason, these are really expensive. I got no idea why. And I guess supposedly they only manufactured these during the 1990s, which I think is the reason why they're so expensive. I think that's the reason why they're so expensive. Because I think they only made those in the 1990s. That would make sense. Maybe move this one over here. I usually take these out every so often whenever I need them and look at them and stuff like that. So now we got our stories straight but these three right here. I was told by somebody that you could use either one of these to control any Sony television. Any Sony television you could use for any four of these. I was told they were universal. This one right here, this one right here was from 2006 to 2008 they manufactured this one. This one was shortly just before that. 2002 to 2006 they manufactured this one. This one right here was for the flat screens, I believe. The early flat screens from like 05 to like 08, 09-ish. Because of the digital analog converter button. This one right here was from like 99 to 2006 they manufactured this one. I was able to gather that information from online, Wikipedia and stuff like that. So, as you see, I'm trying to organize them. Yeah, and then we got this one right here, which of course I'm probably never going to use any of those. And we got this one right here for the 2003 DVD player that my parents bought the Toshiba. I still have the instruction booklet. Definitely for sure still usable. Where's the other one at? I'll show you my Magnavox collection of remotes. There should be one more somewhere. Maybe it's in another room or something. They're being used. Somewhere. Oh, wait, there it is. So this one right here, I bought from St. Vinny's, and the problem is I bought the DVD player but didn't buy the remote control because they had it separately, so I went back in there and just took it. I don't know if that's a crime or not, because, you know, I bought the DVD player and they had the remote control separately. I think I told somebody in there that, and they told me, oh, you could just have it. I showed them the receipt, and I showed them the DVD player with the sticker afterwards, like. So I don't know, maybe there's something that they could do or something, because I ended up buying, I didn't buy it, I just took it. So like, I bought it like the previous day, and I just went back in there and saw it. I'm like, oh, that's the DVD player remote. What the heck is it doing in there? This one right here is for the VCR. A Philips Magnavox television VCR remote control for like a combo unit. This is from, like, I think they manufactured these from 97 to 2002. And then they brought out and they started using this model of remote control right here in 03. Might have been this one right here. It looks more like 03, 02-ish. Because it is. This one right here I got because I purchased a DVD player off of Facebook, and this came with it. Very expensive remote. I think this is a $25 remote. This one right here is the one that they used from 2004 to 2008. This is a $50 to $100 remote control on Amazon right now. $150 I think for this. This is a NA463. Very rare. Very sought after. These are very hard to come by. It's very clean inside. As you can see, it's very clean. I keep all this stuff very clean. So I thought you guys would find that interesting, that I actually have some rare stuff that's actually worth something, instead of just showing you guys like random dish remote controls or something. This one right here is a Emberson remote, and there's not many of these left around. I know that for a fact. When I was a kid, this was the same remote control that I used when I was like 3 years old. Practically like new. The only batteries that we ever did put in here, my father told me this and said, you take them out when you're done using the remote. That's how we keep our stuff so clean. But nowadays we have rechargeable batteries. We have leak-proof batteries. We got, what do you call that, lithium. So you don't have to worry about that. And this one right here does go to the Emberson combo unit that I have, that I like using. Yeah. This one right here went to the other Emberson that we used to have. This remote control no longer works. It's a Sylvania, Emberson, Sylvania. What's that other brand that you see? It starts with the letter T. True Tech or something. This is like a 2002 to 2003 to 2006 or 7 remote. Don't work anymore, but I'm keeping it because the parts are still good yet. Like, the motherboard is trash, but everything else is still functional. What I wanted to do is I wanted to take this out of here and put this in there, the motherboard. But the only problem is, if you look here, they're not the same. The button layouts are not the same. That's the whole reason why I bought this one right here off of Amazon. Amazon, that's where these come from. Facebook, I haven't seen in remote controls in a while. I paid, what was it, like $15 for this? Actually, it was like $20 for this remote control, which is crazy. Which is crazy amount for an 04 converter remote. That's how old this is supposed to be, because it was for that Sylvania that's now damaged, don't work anymore. Shit out of stick, you know. I found this. This is a Pioneer DVD recorder remote control, which is very rare from what I understand. They go for like huge amounts of money. Anything Pioneer is super expensive. I almost didn't think I would ever find anything Pioneer, you know, on the side of the curb, but of course I did. You know, I got lucky that day. And then we've got the old dish remote controls from the 2000s that my parents continued to use for decades. And this one right here still works with the Samsung television upstairs, believe it or not. If the sensors on the televisions were still working, they're not working anymore, so. And these two right here, my family used like crazy. Upstairs, up in the 2 bedrooms. They took one dish box and they put a splitter on there so they could send it off to 2 different televisions. Which they're very old. I think these are from like 2004 or something like that. Like, they're really old. Believe it or not, when these were taken out of service, both of them worked 100% perfectly fine. Oh, actually, all 3 of these did. I have somewhere in this house, there's the one of the ones from the really old dish converter box from like the 90s are still floating around. And once in a while, I'll see them at like the thrift stores or something. I'll be like, wow, that's really old. And here's the... usually get these, I showed you earlier, like in the last video. You get these from like the store, like Ace Hardware, Menards for like $6.99, pretty cheap. This one right here was the one my father originally bought back in 2004 when the television remote control broke on his old GE television. That was a wood grain tabletop television. It was like a 20-incher or something, or 16-incher or something that he owned. And he bought this to use with it, and it worked automatically until the television broke. Until the sensor gave out. And there's still the model number still written in there, as you can see, so which is good. Those are super old. And most people are like, well, aren't you going to show us the television tuner remotes? Yeah. So I actually have, I think there's 4 of these. Because my dad bought 2 of these tuners when they were new. And then he bought the tuners came with remotes. So every single time you buy a remote, it come with another tuner. So you buy another tuner to get another remote. So we ended up with what? 6, 7 remote controls. And my father bought a tuner. He bought one of these tuners for every single house, every single television in the house. And so my father was one of those people be like, don't throw it away. It's not broke. So he would go out as soon as he realized that you could get a decent quality modern television these days for almost nothing. He got rid of his CRTs probably right around 2010. Because I remember where our first flat screen television didn't come along until 2012. My father was pretty much late into the development, pretty much late in buying this type of stuff. you saw in the last video 9 months ago, I still have that television tuner, that brand new one, that Apex Digital one. So this right here, I thought this was a Magnavox remote control. I'm not sure what the D stood for. I'm assuming it stood for, like, maybe Funai had another brand in the 90s or something. That's what I thought it was for, like a 90s television or something. So I don't know. I found this at the thrift store and I thought it was kind of weird looking, the branding on it. I still don't know what this brand is, but I did do a Google search the other day, like a few months after I bought it. Come to find out, it's for a Durr brand television from the 90s, like early 2000s, like late 90s. Well, I didn't even know that brand existed because I always thought this style remote control was like a Magnavox or Funai remote. Must be. And we're coming down to the last few. So these ones right here are old style remote controls that you don't see anymore. Made in Malaysia. I thought for a minute this was a Sony built remote control, but I was looking at the insides of it on somebody who had one on Facebook, and they took it apart. I watched a video. Might have been on YouTube probably by now, but I saw somebody took apart one of these. Come to find out, this is Toshiba built, I think. This one right here is an Orion remote from like the 2000s. It's an old remote control that they had. See, like TV combo VCR. So, and then that's not all of it, but I got this one right here. This is for the Roku. This is for the Amazon Fire Stick that my brother bought. My brother had to have, which of course nobody wants anymore because it don't work right anymore. So probably worth a pretty penny to somebody who could use this. Somebody that even uses Amazon Fire Sticks anymore, even that even has an account anymore. I mean, like, Amazon is getting so old. They've been around since 1996. For those people that didn't know, all these new companies that are coming out, like Netflix, they've been around like forever. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Bye. Super Satin Productions.